Caribbean and African stakeholders gathered at the Radisson Conference Room in St. George's, Grenada, to address key issues from climate change to smart construction and sustainable infrastructure. St. Lucia's Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King highlighted the region's vulnerability, stressing the need for a robust resilience strategy.
To be able to rise to the occasion to build strong and resilient infrastructure to face today's challenges as we have it now. And so these are the factors: finance, human resource capacity, and the ability to be able to build that resilience that is required in your infrastructure. Many times what I do find is that we build from project to project. So we build a project, and in the minds of those who design and construct, there is the feeling that if a road is built with a pavement strength of 15 and 20 years, that they should build it and forget it for 20 years without having in place a maintenance regime that can keep that road for 20 years and probably 25 if only the right protocols are put in place to maintain that road. So these are some of our challenges, and I would assume that each and every island in the Caribbean experiences that situation, and I'm sure Africa itself experiences that situation.
King addressed questions on the development of St. Lucia's infrastructure resilience plan.
Up to that time, I would have said no for St. Lucia. What we have done, rather, we have developed a national strategic plan for infrastructure called Infrastructure 2030. That is to be followed by what I term as Agenda 2050, because it took us 3 years to develop Infrastructure 2030 in terms of a strategic plan. A plan that reviews the operations of the Department of Infrastructure, how it interfaces with the public, and how it provides services to the general public. It looks at their mandate, their responsibility, their mission, and also to review legislation, develop policies and review legislation. The existing legislation for infrastructure, what we used to call communications and works, etc., is legislation dated 1957. It speaks of horses and carts, donkey cart, etc., and pounds, shillings, and pence. It has not at all, or it does not at all address the situation as it is now.
According to King, an outdated action plan pushed the Ministry of Infrastructure to craft a new strategic mandate with resilience at its core.
Many times in St. Lucia, it is said that when Wasco smells asphalt, they dig the roads. So we are saying no more smelling of asphalt. Let's build utility chambers or channels, as you call it. Let's build it on the shoulders of the road. Let's have it done in a way that if there are any faults, we can simply lift the slabs and do the repairs. But of course, as the Minister for Dominica indicated, it's a very costly exercise.
While acknowledging the cost, King called resilience measures a vital investment in the island's future. He stressed the need to extend these efforts beyond roads to housing and broader development.
The Department of Physical Development, which I also control, we are now completing their own physical development strategic plan, which looks at building codes, improving the building codes, looking at the issue of not just approving plans, but monitoring the plans as they're implemented. Because the Development Control Authority will approve a plan this morning, it is approved, the next day the contractor goes, he builds something totally different to what was approved. So we are saying we need to put in build the capacity, in-house capacity, to monitor such developments and to ensure that even the use of building materials. So when you are to build, you must bring your concrete mix to the laboratory, the materials laboratory lab of the Department of Infrastructure. So now we have invested some serious money into that lab to ensure that we provide a particular service to the general public under that policy initiative to be able to at least test your materials, that no one would be shortchanged by a contractor. That contractor would have to bring the cubes as extracted from the site for testing to ensure that the contractor has given the quality of material necessary for construction. So it's a really broad and global, if I call it a global initiative. It's a strategic plan for up to 2030. What it speaks of, where do you think the country will be in the year 2030? Let's build it to 2030. But even before you get to 2030, prepare your agenda for 2050. Otherwise, what we'll continue to have is what I spoke of, building our infrastructure project by project and not planning properly and accessing the best financing available on the market.
St. Lucia's infrastructure minister concluded that resilience must be built into every layer of development, ensuring St. Lucia, the wider Caribbean, and Africa are ready for the challenges ahead.